Seen on the whole tour. So hopefully Toronto can keep up tonight.
Yeah? Have they kept up in the past?
Yeah, definitely. This is always a critical show for us. We always love this. I mean, whenever I come into town, I've got tons of friends here tonight too. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Right on. So I guess with I guess I kind of wanted to bounce around between your history, if that's okay, with music, essentially. The most pertinent question I've always wanted to ask you is, when you transitioned over from Coal Chamber to DevilDriver, what was it like to go from a band that lyrically and musically was, I mean, this stuff is far more fast and brutal compared to Coal Chamber.
Right.
What was it like for you as a vocalist and as a frontman to switch from, I guess, two different worlds of metal?
Well, not really two different worlds. I mean, you know, Coal Chamber was really aggressive at the time too, but not as aggressive as this and not as brutal as this. It was like finding a new restaurant, man, with a whole new menu down the street that you never knew existed. It was unbelievable, you know. And the way that we formed was in Santa Barbara. Everybody lived around me. We ended up barbecuing together, and then it ended up getting together and jamming tunes. So it happened real organically. But it was great because my influences were as such that I think I needed to do this. You know, I was listening to way heavier stuff than I think the Coal Chamber guys were. And we all know the story of them, you know, doing hard drugs and it falling apart. So I don't think it was going to transition heavier or where I wanted Coal Chamber to go or where I wanted the thing to transition into. I think it was just stagnant where it was, and it was best left just where it was, and so I moved on, you know. That being said, you know, we're 5 records deep now, DevilDriver, and it's been an incredible run. We've gained one fan at a time, you know, because I did leave another, what became a genre, and another band into a second band, which is almost impossible, man. I mean, I can count on my hand the 5 dudes in metal that have ever done it and transitioned to make it out alive, really. So I'm very fortunate and blessed, and I have a lot of appreciation for our fans, totally. People that have followed me in general since '95, I got a lot of appreciation.
Right on.
Yeah.
Touring's always kind of been that.
I love touring.
Okay, all right. Well, that's so. Yeah, you love touring.
Yep. I sleep better in a bunk than I do at home. But that's
really.
Life. Yep. I actually am. My bus driver's building 2 bunks in my house when I get home.
So, besides the bunks, what is it about touring that you enjoy so much? Give
me a microphone and the stage and people every single night, and I will deliver.
Right on.
I love it. I mean, everything from where are we going to eat today, is there a shower, who's coming to visit. I get to hang out with all my friends in the band. My best friend Frankenstein's been on the road with me since '96, '97. Get to hang out and do my life, you know. Don't get me wrong, I have a home life. I have a wonderful wife and children, and a Great Dane, a Doberman I love, and I do like being at home, but I have to learn how to balance that out. If I can't be home too long, can't be on the road too long.
Gotcha. You've toured a lot. What's the craziest show you've ever had?
Oh.
Anything that's
so many of them,
notable?
there's just no way to go, like, what's the craziest show, you know?
Anything notable?
Weird shit, yeah, weird shit, like, you know, you're at Download and you find out that Jonathan Davis is getting airlifted out and they need singers to sing for Korn, and I end up doing 2 songs 2 hours later in front of 110,000 people. Like, what? That just happened? That kind of stuff, times 100 for 16 years. We could sit here for 4 hours and I can tell you the crazy shit that's happened in my life. But I love that kind of shit, you know. I love not just the standard life, 9 to 5. I like stuff thrown at me, and I like to tackle things. I like to take on a lot. I take on a lot of different projects. I'm guests a lot on different records. I like to keep myself busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In an interview a while back, I think it was posted on the Roadrunner website, you mentioned how kind of the music industry had shifted from not being focused on necessarily albums, but how we were moving towards singles again, and how bands should, you know, focus on releasing a single, you know, once every month, and then at the end of the year they would have enough to put together an album. I guess I was wondering if you could just explain your thoughts on that
would
process.
be my model. I think the new model is going to be you're going to sign for a certain amount of songs, not records.
So like,
because why should an artist get away with putting away, and even me, right? I put out a record every 2 years, and that's considered like fast. Now that being said, the newest one is going to be a little while longer because we're taking more time off and this and that. But 12 songs. I'm going to give you, you know, with B-sides, I'm going to give you 14, 15 songs in 2.5 years. That's all you're going to get. Like, I'm a fan of a million bands that are on my iPod. If they released 1 or 2 songs a month, I'd buy them. I'd download them. Yeah. So I personally think that it should go to, hold on a minute. Shut the fuck up! Kids wearing a DevilDriver shirt, I love it. I love our fans, they're so badass. You know, that's where I think it should go. I mean, sign an artist for 24 songs for a year, 48 songs for 2 years. You know what I mean? Sign me for 115 songs. Give me the money, I'll deliver it.
So what are your thoughts on Universal stating that they're not going to be publishing CDs, like physical, tangible?
Who buys a CD? I got 3 kids, 3 boys, 13, 17, 21. They haven't owned a CD in 10 fucking years. I give him my own CD. Here's our new record. He's like, I already got it. And it shows me his iPod. There's really, discs are just... You're gonna go out and buy a disc player? Hi, I'm looking for a disc player. It's just kind of retarded. It's like a DVD player. Like, I'm gonna buy a DVD player. It's like, you got Netflix. Granted, Netflix doesn't have anything on it, but eventually someone's gonna come up with the right model, which is everything ever made, including foreign films and horror, underground, all right here, right at your fingertips for a certain amount of dollars per month. You know, I love that, personally. You know, I love the fact that last night we're sitting here talking about Rage Against the Machine. I'm like, yeah, wait, what's that one track that I love? Okay, hold on, boom, I push it, I'm on my iTunes, I'm plugging it in 3 minutes, I'm listening to the tune. I love that. That's incredible. I used to have to bug my mom to give me money to drive me to the record store. I'd go to a record store. They wouldn't have the record or the CD or the tape. I had to go to another one, look for it, order it, all this stupid shit. It's horrible. I love the way things are going, you know.
Okay. With that being said then, what are your views on piracy and, you know, what the SOPA bill that tried to pass in the States?
You know what, I got a lot of flack on Twitter for being like, go SOPA.
Yeah?
Personally, I think if you steal shit, you should go to jail. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
That's just the way that it is, period. If, you know, you steal something, you should go to jail. If I have a painting, it's hanging up in the gallery, you run in, you grab it, and you run out, you should get your ass kicked and get put in jail. What's the difference with music? We take what's called a record deal. It's actually a loan to make money, right? For the record label, if they sell records. If they don't sell records, we're stuck with what? A debt, right? So we spend that money on making the records. I mean, we don't just go pocket that cash. We spend the money on writing, recording, making sure it's killer, mixing it, mastering it, trying to work with a good producer. And you can say, well, you know, people can make, you know, music all day long in their house now. No, you can't. Not like in a real studio with a killer producer. So, you know, go SOPA.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get lit up on that.
Yeah.
I don't really, I don't care. It's all you fucking thieves that are gonna light me up. So go fuck yourself.
Well, for the record, I downloaded your first DevilDriver album and bought it the next day because it was wicked.
See, say that like, then you know what? You owe me twice.
Oh, so I owe you twice?
Yeah, well, you paid once, you owe me again, so you still owe me.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. Well, I downloaded it, then I bought it, but you have it twice, which means you owe me twice.
So I'll buy every record that you've made then and, to make it up to you?
I can only say this, right, that I buy records, I make my kids buy records, I make my wife buy records. You know, my wife loves the Rocketeers and Jack White. She like has to own everything he does, like including vinyl, and I purchase it for her because I think it's a great investment towards a great artist. So if you love your bands, then you're going to have to invest in them, or they're going to go away. Especially the ones in the vans, or especially the ones just starting out. You know, like, I mean, I feel sorry for that. Like, bands just starting out, just dropping out a record. It's like, they only sold 4,000 copies in the whole United States in a year. Yeah, but how many illegal downloads did they have? Because they got 2,000 kids at the fucking shows. So it's just, it's not working. Something needs to happen. And I mean immediately. Otherwise, underground art is going to be totally killed. And you'll be stuck with the Justin Biebers and the, you know, the money play, anything money can push. And, you know, and actually other bands in metal metal radio and stuff is pushing, you know, certain metal rock bands like, you know, like crazy, but it's because the money's behind it. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Speaking of records...
Go SOPA.
Go SOPA.
Yeah.
Speaking of records and recording, any teasers or anything you can mention about the next album and what we can expect?
No, we're free agents right now. So what that means is we're we're looking for record deals, and we've got a lot of different people we're looking for, and a lot of people we've been talking to. And I just want to find passion behind the music, really. That's really important for us, you know. When another record will come out, it's not going to be it's not going to be on the 2-year mark. I can tell you that. I anticipate September, October 2013 would be a good time to have it happen, but we've got a lot of touring, a lot of other stuff to finish up, and I don't want to rush a record. I want to make sure it's going to be very critical for a record for DevilDriver. So I want to make sure that it's proper.